My boyfriend erased the progress I had made on my novel to get my attention, but it's only brought to my attention that there's some serious trash in my life. I am 28, and he is 30. I have been working on a novel for about a year. I write every day, even if it's just a sentence. 6 months ago, my college switched to smartboards and threw all their whiteboards in the garbage. I grabbed two because I have a huge wall space open in my living room. Most of my writing is done on Google Drive, but I keep things like character personalities, names, places, a general timeline, etc., stuff I want to remember. I used to take photos of the whiteboard so I could have my ideas with me. I used to write during my lunch break, but I stopped doing that because it burned me out, and my writing quality took a huge dive. Plus, my boyfriend helps me write and it brings us closer in such a meaningful way. So I haven't taken a photo in about 3 months. The whiteboards are nice because I can read my notes across the room while sitting in my favorite chair. I got home last night, and all of my stuff was erased. It was all train of thought, like I'd come home and jot something down. Handwriting is so much more cathartic for me. I had sketches of things in the novel. I'd basically have to go through and remember every single thing that was on it. I had a lot of it stored in my head or on Google Drive, but there are some things I'll never get back. But it's the fact that he erased it. We don't live together. He told me I've been focusing too much on it and have no time for him. We hang out at my house 5 to 6 nights a week. I write while he plays video games. It's a good dynamic, and I thought we enjoyed it. We are always laughing, and he helps me with my wording, and I Google stuff to help him with his game. This is the first time he's mentioned it bothering him. If he had brought it up, we could have talked about it. But instead, he went nuclear, and I have no idea why. I don't know what to do. I'm so frustrated. We've had one serious argument over his driving. He got better. My family took him on vacation a few weeks ago. We watch his nephew all the time. His family paid for my entire spring semester. We're so much a part of each other's lives, and I feel so hurt and heartbroken. He's my muse, and just the other day, we went to the jewelry store to look at rings. My feelings keep rotating between rage, sadness, confusion, sorrow, and anger, everything. How do I even approach this? Last night, I was so upset that I asked him to leave. He hasn't texted. He hasn't called. He hasn't stopped by. I keep typing out questions to ask but erasing them. Why did you do it? Are you unhappy with our relationship? What did I do? I'm even more heartbroken because he hasn't called or texted all day. I'm afraid to call him. I don't want to hear him say he thinks we should break up, or that he doesn't want to be with me while I'm writing, or worse, just ignore my call. Update 3 months later. It's been about 3 months since I made my post. Somehow, it feels like this has gotten really long. The night I made my post, I went to a friend's house. She ordered a pizza, we got ice cream, and we shared a bottle of wine. She's a straight shooter, takes a neutral approach, and gives solid relationship advice, so I felt comfortable talking to her about everything. She couldn't figure out why he'd done it. We went over how he and I spent time together, how much he seemed to care about me, and how we looked into each other's eyes. But it also revealed a lot of hesitation on my part. I'm a positive person and tend to forgive or overlook faults. I suspect it's some kind of coping mechanism from my childhood. We had some unresolved issues I think he was holding on to. When I bring them up, he'd just get kind of salty and say, "It's fine, I don't care anymore," but then he'd bring them up in arguments. I didn't realize how toxic it was. That same night, I told him I was coming over the next day to talk about things. I said I'd be over around 11, and the only thing he texted back was, "Okay," which I didn't respond to. I went to his house at 11, and he was still asleep. He got upset when I woke him up. It completely took the wind out of my sails. On a good day, I cry if something upsets me, but I was so angry and heartbroken that I couldn't even think. I left without saying a word to him, and he didn't follow me. On my way out, I went to the kitchen and took my house key off his key ring. I drove home in a daze, collected all his things, put them in a box on my porch, and texted him to come get them. He replied, "What the hell? That's fine, I'll come by later and pick them up." I went out with a few girlfriends, we got day drunk, and had some amazing food. It made me feel better, but when I got home and saw that his things were gone, I was heartbroken. I never texted him, and he never texted me. I got absolutely no closure, and even though people say closure is BS, I've had the hardest time moving on. It's been 3 months, and I still cry in the shower sometimes. Even though I broke up with him, I still feel so confused and heartbroken. I never figured out why he did what he did, and I likely never will. I miss his help and companionship. I'd love to come here and say I finished my book, but I haven't written much since. I can't get into my characters' heads anymore. There's this feeling of loneliness and grief, and while it's helped me create a better outline, I still can't write about my characters. The other day, I went to the bookstore to study. I ended up looking at books about time travel and found one with thousands of positive reviews. My novel is science fiction, and I've been trying to think of how to incorporate time travel, so it kind of lined up perfectly. It turns out a lot of my ideas mirror theoretical physics. It's eerie, I've never taken physics or read about it, but suddenly string theory makes sense. Cosmology makes sense. I'm blown away, and it feels so strange that so much of my plot has been studied so deeply. The book has lit a fire under me. Reading more about everything makes me so excited, and it's helped me flesh out my plot. I can't put it down and read about 20 pages a night. I haven't actually made time to sit and read a book for years. Now, I always have a notebook with me to write my ideas down. I haven't written about my characters yet, but my passion is back, and my plot is finally coming together. Now, I don't care as much about how we broke up or feel confused anymore. Sometimes I still get sad at night, during the day, or when I go out and make prolonged eye contact with a guy. I haven't thought about dating, I'm still too hurt to pursue it. But every day, I move on a little more. I wanted to thank everyone who gave me advice. I'd forgotten about my post until just now, and rereading it made me realize how seriously messed up it was. It gave me closure. Thank you.